Okay, this is my first video demo, so if it is weird or awkward, that's why. I'm going to show you in this video drawing eyes fully rendered. Rendered means fully shaded with details. This is the reference photo that I'm going to use right here, this middle pair of eyes. I've got it right up next to my screen on my next to my sketchbook, so you can see how I'm using that as a reference. When we do a whole face, we give ourselves that eye line, right? So we're going to go ahead and start with an eye line. So we have a kind of guideline to go across. I'm going to try and make that straight across my sketchbook so it makes sense. I tend to draw at a tilt. We'll see if I can kind of avoid that with the camera. Okay. You want to draw both eyes at the same time. If you draw the whole right eye first and then the whole left eye, they're not going to match. You want to draw them simultaneously so you can follow the same kind of motions on each side. Okay, I want you to notice how sketchy I am and how I don't commit to the first line that I make ever. Okay, the first part of the eye that I'm going to look at is the top eyelid of the eye. Okay, so you can see right here that it has a strong curve. Okay, some people's eyelids are more straight, some people's eyelids are, really arched. This has a really strong curve, and the inside corner is a little bit lower than the outside corner. Okay, the inside corner of the eye is just a tiny bit lower from the outside corner. Now, if this eye cuts straight across our eye, we want the inside corners to be a little bit lower than that eye line. Okay, so I'm going to start with where those inside corners are in relation to the eye line. Then I'm going to follow the top arch of each of those. Now remember, when you're drawing, you should look at your reference more than you look at your drawing even, okay? And then I'm going to end that top lid right at that line. And then I'm going to bounce back over. I'm looking at my reference and I'm looking at this eye now to see, I want that side to match. Okay, notice how sketchy I am being. Nice and sketchy. You don't want to commit. You can erase if it's wrong. Those look pretty similar to me. Got the highest part of the arch kind of in the same spot. This one might be a little less arched. I'm going to look at my picture and see which one is more accurate. I'm going to give it the high archer. Okay, and then I got my outside corner a little bit higher than my inside corner, okay, because we said our inside corners went a little bit lower, so the inside corner comes down below the eye a little bit, and the outside corner stays right on the line, okay? Now I'm going to look at the inside corner of the eye, and you'll see how it goes straight, okay? So instead of curving up or down, it goes straight out for a little bit and then curves down and around. Okay, that's the line I'm going to draw next, okay? So I have that corner kind of coming at an angle that's not accurate. So I'm going to go straight out like I see it in that photo before I'm going to drop my eye down and then curve back up to the point where they meet at. Okay, I'm going to do that on both sides, looking at my reference and also looking at my other eye. Okay, so there I went way too big, right? So I'm going to leave that line now as a guideline because I know it's too big, too low. So I'm going to go ahead and make a different one. That looks a little better. I'm going to erase it so I can see clearly my new line. That one I kind of came that corner a little bit too low. So I'm going to go ahead and shore that up a little bit more accurately. A little bit higher up there. Okay, then I got my two eye shapes. Great. Want to look back and forth, kind of touch them up. Want to make sure they're kind of similar, they're the same. Now, nobody's face is exactly symmetrical. So I don't want you to stress too much. I want them to look, the same at first glance. It's okay if they kind of look a little bit slightly different, okay? Then the next line that I'm going to make is the outline of the iris. The iris is the colored part of the eye. Okay, this is the iris of the eye, this is the pupil of the eye, and this is the whites of the eye. So we're going to do the outline between the iris and the whites of the eye. Now, generally, with looking forward straightforward looking eyes, the top lid covers a little bit more of that iris than the bottom lid. Okay, it's also helpful to look at the negative space. Okay, look at the shape of the whites of the eye. Remember, drawing the shape of the iris and drawing the shape of the negative space accomplishes the same thing. But we tend to be able to see negative spaces truer with the right side of our brain than with the left side of our brain. So I'm going to go ahead and erase my guideline through the middle so I can kind of see it properly. Now we both have about an even amount of white on each side of the eye. So the eyes are going to come pretty centered. I'm going to do my first kind of guideline looking at my picture, and I'm realizing those are too big. Okay, I did those a little too big. I'm going to come a little bit farther in on each of those. And I'm just going to kind of ghost and sketch my lines, okay? Not too much. And just sketch until I get it right, okay? I'm not going to settle for it not being right. So that one looks a little bit better. Get a little bit more circular on this side. Okay, notice how I'm continually adjusting my drawing. I'm not committing to a poorly or inaccurately drawn line, okay? Being a good artist is not giving up. It's not about drawing it right the first time, okay? You'll notice that I sketch and erase a lot, okay? That's a good first side, but now I'm kind of feeling like this one is a little low. Like I need to kind of cut that line. Now that I've got the pupil in there, I want to adjust that just slightly, okay? So even as you go, and as you see more things that maybe are not correct, you know, fix them. Don't leave something that's not accurate, okay? So that's the first kind of form outline I'm going to do in there, okay? I'm going to get them even. This one looks still just a tiny bit big. Okay. Then I'm going to go ahead and do the eyelid crease, okay? So this line in here, this is a really good defining line that helps people look different from each other. Some people's eyelid creases go really high. Some people, you can't see it at all when their eyelid is open. So this one has a decent eyelid crease. It kind of lines up above the corner of the eye on a straight vertical like this. This one looks like it even connects. I'm going to do a kind of outline there. That's a pretty dark outline. On this side, it doesn't quite come as far to the corner. Okay, so we got that line next, okay? I'll follow those. Now for shading of the eye, go ahead and erase your guideline in the middle. Right? Actually, you can erase all your guidelines now. Okay, go ahead and sketch out the outline of the pupil in the middle, but a little bit kind of higher where that is, closer to the top maybe. She's looking a little freaky-eyed. That's okay. Go ahead and shade in those pupils. Maybe leave an area that's highlight for a nice shine. Okay, we're gonna add those shines in there. And then to shade the iris, darker on the outside, lighter as it gets closer to the pupil of the eye, okay? Remember, nice kind of blended technique, kind of do, if you want to do directional lines, make sure they're going towards the center. So you got a nice, you know, shaded eye, okay? Darker on the outside. One of my students told me to make my videos entertaining, say funny things, not boring to listen to. It's hard for me to be funny on demand. I miss you guys a lot. I've watched a lot of Netflix and Disney Plus, a lot of the Tiger King. So now I know everything about the big cat owning community. Pretty hilarious. I recommend it on Netflix. Okay, so then we kind of got some simple shading of the eyes, and that's all I'm looking for from you for this step in faces. Okay, just kind of simple shading. Okay, now underneath the eye we have some shading as well. Okay, we've got a little bit of a crease where kind of the eyeball comes out. You can see those lines right here. These also help to provide differences between faces. I did it wrong over on that side. I just muted up. I wasn't looking at the picture, so I'm going to adjust it. Okay, and now I'm going to lay out her eyebrows. Now this picture's got real skinny eyebrows. I'm just going to draw them like little individual hairs. She has perfectly manicured eyebrows. They kind of go in a straight line across, not too arched. I'm kind of doing them a little bit too arched for that picture, but that's okay. And then we'll do one over here as well. Remember, eyebrows are sisters, not twins. They don't have to look exactly alike. But we want them to have kind of the same basic shape, okay? Maybe this one's a little wilder than this one. I'll make that go out straighter. I'll match the other one a little bit. Yeah, it's a little better. Okay, then I want you guys to use the blended technique with your pencils, okay? Small, tiny circles, and add that shading on the outside of the top eyelid, okay? Now the girls probably are gonna be a little bit, this is where you put your eyeshadow, right? When you're doing your makeup. Maybe guys know that too, you know, no judgments on your hobbies. Laughing at myself, that's for sure. Now remember, try not to do all of one at once, okay? Try and go back and forth. Typically, we have shadows on the outsides of our eyelids, okay, where our brow bone shades more of the eye. I'm going to create those shadows. Okay, I'm going to get lighter as I go up. And then right along that crease, I'm really going to push my darks there. I'm not afraid to get dark, but I want this to be blended, so I'm taking my time. I'm doing tiny circles. Okay, we got lots of value right along the edge of the eye. Okay, we got where her eyelashes are, plenty of value there. And then on the inside of the eye, where the nose, where the bridge of the nose kind of connects down to the eye, we're gonna have shadow in that bridge of the nose, and that really helps form the nose. Noses, when we get to those features, are really more value in shading than they are lines, like how the nose starts out, or the eyes start out with some kind of simple lines that we can do. The nose is really a form more than anything else. So we really want to get those shadings nice and right. Kind of blend that up to the highlight on the bridge of the nose. Okay, nice small circles, you know, not too much. Okay, now don't do too much on one side. I'm starting to do too much on that side, so I'm going to go back over here to my other side and keep bouncing them back and forth. Now I'm continuing to look at my reference for where the shading goes, but I'm also looking between the two eyes that I'm drawing, okay? Because I don't want them to get too different from each other. I'd rather them look like they belong on the same face on my paper than exactly like the photograph and like weird or something. So, if that makes sense. When you guys are uploading to your online sketchbooks, please give me all the comments on what you want feedback on, what you're struggling with, if you think it's easy, if you want, you know, give me all the comments, okay? This is new for all of us. We're all kind of learning as we go through this process. Okay, in this, she got darks around the kind of edges of her eyes, okay, right here and here. So I'm going to go ahead and pull that shading around and down. Hey, dogs, stop. I don't know if you guys can hear the dog playing in the background, but there they are. My best friend had her baby. She's still in the hospital, so I'm watching her dog. Okay, following those lines, looking at those references. You'll notice that I haven't drawn any eyelashes yet, and I don't want you to. Lots of people make their drawings of eyes look really stupid and spider eyes when they do eyelashes, because they do them just like straight out, really creepy. Eyelashes are a lot more natural looking than that. This girl's got some Hey, dogs. They're really messing up my video. Okay, shading this way. And now we really don't want to leave the pure whites of the eyes pure white. We kind of want to match the values. Now there's kind of a little bit of shadow that's cast from the top lid down on the whites of our eyes. And a little bit of detail in that corner, you know, where we have kind of a little tear duct or eye, you know, little, you know, whatever it is. Good at explaining things, huh? And then if we really want, the last thing you can do, you can really push that value and then you can add some of your eyelashes. I want you to follow the shape of the eyelashes in the picture, okay, and the direction that they go out. Lots of people make eyelashes go like this and they look stupid. Eyelashes on this side are going to come out at that angle. They're not going to all go to the side like fake eyelashes, okay? We got little eyelashes there. She's got some major mascara on her bottom ones. Put those in there. Same on this side. You can do the lashes, but don't get crazy, okay? Don't get carried away. We don't want it to look like she's wearing fake eyelashes. We want it to look real, so. Okay, little eyelashes like that. That's kind of less is more with eyelashes, I think. We just want to suggest them, not lay them in there like crazy. Okay. Here are the dogs. I will show you the dogs. Ella! Ella! Hi, Ella! That's Ella. She's so pretty. She's so pretty. That's my best friend. Oh, Ella. 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 You want to lick the camera almost, huh? Oh, she's so good. Okay, where's Scout? Scout's the other one. Scout's afraid of everything. Scout! Hi! Hi! She's like, I'm getting out of here. All right, hopefully that worked. We'll see.